Well, hello. Oh, good morning. How are you?
Okay.
All right, all right. So, what brings you in here this morning?
I came during working hours and they said that I can have my resume reviewed.
Oh, okay, all right. Let's take a look at your resume.
So have a copy.
All right, all right. So let's see here. So from what I see, you are pursuing your bachelor's in biomedical engineering,
Yes.
and your focus is biomechanics. Let's see here. All right. Um, all right. So I see your relevant coursework here. Your your capstone project. Okay, very impressive. All right. Okay, all right. Okay, so why don't you tell me a little bit about what it is you're looking to pursue ultimately within your major?
Um. So I'm set to graduate May 2017 with my bachelor's degree in biomedical engineering,
Okay.
and my short-term goal is to get hired by like a well-known company. Doesn't have to
Okay.
be on a small company, but um, get hired by them for a position that is a challenging position, hopefully in manufacturing division or R&D, which is research and development,
Okay.
and where I can contribute my engineering skills, my analytical skills, my creative mind into helping them as a team and contributing to develop products that can help benefit humans or help out in the hospitals and environments.
Okay. So I see here you have done some work as an engineer here at NGIT. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
Um, that actually was a course I took.
Okay.
I took it this past summer. It was 6 weeks program, and the ultimate goal of the course is to provide you with at least three engineering problems that exist, medical problems that exist in the where like someone has asthma or Valsalva maneuver, which is basically closing both airways and then which
Mm-hmm.
increases the pressure in your body. So we
Okay.
had to try to understand what it feels like and how to implement on like basically try to understand the medical problem. So and in doing that, we had to research, get the tools you need, equipment you need, understand the software you're going to be using, and then come it's lab based. So come to the lab and then work on the lab and have the subject, which is one of my lab members, perform that said medical problem, and then we use MATLAB to run the data we received and get the graphs and pretty much understand what happens in the body when you have that problem.
Okay. So I see here you did a capstone project, and I see that's the only project that you worked on, and but I don't see much experience working within biomedical engineering. What have you done, in terms of preparing yourself for when you graduate? Have you? Because I see here some experience here on your resume, but is there any other projects that you have potentially worked on that can correlate to the field of biomedical engineering?
I mean, the only project I worked on that can correlate to the field of biomedical engineering was my capstone project. It
Okay.
was 2 semesters I
Mm-hmm.
took to do that, and that's what you see over there. I don't have any other
All right.
project.
All right. Okay, so I see you've done some volunteer work. That's very good to
Basically,
definitely highlight for companies that are definitely looking for people that are active within the community as
mhm.
well as within their undergrad. So that's very good to indicate. Um, let's see here. Definitely having AutoCAD, MATLAB, and other technical skill set is definitely essential to within biomedical engineering. Um, have you worked in any labs or anything of that nature aside from your time here? Have you spent some time maybe voluntarily somewhere possibly?
Not really. I haven't worked. The only labs I've worked in are those for my classes, which is like I've had some lab-based class with biomechanical engineering lab, and the one I took the engineering class I took last summer is also like was based in the lab. So that's the only lab work I've done. I've not actually worked outside for
Okay.
research.
Um, and just out of curiosity, did you recently attend our career fair that we had just this past week?
Actually, I did. A career fair was 2 days ago, and fortunately for me, I used that as a means. to practice for the SWE conference I'll be attending by the end of October, which is like a huge conference that is three times the size of career fair, and
Okay.
companies come there in hopes to hire people. And I was fortunate enough to get an interview with Norfolk Southern,
Oh
which
wow, that's
last
impressive.
yeah
Yes.
took place in yesterday.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Okay. So during the career fair, which companies did you visit?
Stryker, Johnson & Johnson, GE Healthcare, Merck, PSEG, which one? Northern Southern. I'm still Norfolk Southern, obviously, because I got to interview them. Dr. Reddy's Laboratories, and I believe that was it, because a lot of line. The line was so long, so it was hard to see all the companies I came there for.
Okay. Um. So it seems like, and did you have a good? Was you able to get contact information? Were they exchange business cards and all that nature? What was
Um,
your overall experience at the career fair?
Unfortunately, I didn't have my business card with me, but I was able to get like few contact information, like two different companies, and the rest just pretty the same thing, which is go online and apply and give you like the rundown of how to apply for the job and what website to use.
Okay.
It was better than my last career fair. Anyway.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that this time around when our career fair, you was able to best benefit because that's the purpose of a career fair. You're going to see different companies and what they have to offer and learning about several different internship opportunities. Now, from what I see here on your resume, also you indicated that you have a minor in innovation and entrepreneurship. Any particular reason why you wanted to highlight that on your resume?
Obviously, it's a good thing to add to your resume because it will help bring you closer to create more opportunities for you. But the reason why I decided to get my minor in innovation and entrepreneurship is because I mean in the long run I want my short term goal is to work for a company and contribute to the company, but my
Okay.
long term goal eventually is to somehow, if possible, take what I've learned and then go back to my country, which is Nigeria, and see if I can help out there. And I know my country is still developing in the sense it's a little behind America in the sense that biomedical engineering is probably new there or probably doesn't exist yet. So if I'm going back there, I'm probably going back there on my own or going back there with little help. So I need to get and understand how to do things. So when I go back to my country, I know how to start my own business if possible, and then go from there.
Okay. So let's just take a look here. Okay. Okay. One thing I will say, you did indicate one little is minor the issue here,
Mm-hmm.
but this word right here, challenging. You don't mind if I write on it, do
No,
you?
sure.
Okay.
I like
So challenging, right? The problem with indicating challenging, is because sometimes when we really look at some of the positions that are out there within your major and several other majors that are offered here at NJIT, what ends up happening is if you put a word like that, that's telling that's somewhat giving a negative notation to the company saying, "Oh, so you don't think our company is challenging enough for you?" So I feel like in terms of context,
um,
you want to be more cautious about the wording of your summary because you do have the necessary experience here from what I see here. However, you want to be very careful on how you choose certain words
um,
to best describe what's within your this summary.
okay.
So using words like challenging, can be somewhat a little bit intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
So if I would say find another adjective that best describes what type of position you're looking for. In this case, you're looking for, I'm assuming, a full-time position.
Yes. Oh, co-op position for spring if possible also.
Okay. So you probably want to indicate that within your summary because you can choose between either a summary or an objective. An objective can be something that's short and sweet and straight to the point. Now, summaries for people that have a little bit more experience in terms of work and other academic and non-academic related experience that's correlating to their major. Um, I would definitely say just take this word out and make sure that you are incorporating terminology that doesn't draw up red flags for companies because the last thing you want to do is be potential for a company but then rub them the wrong way because of what's
Mm-hmm.
on here, you know because ultimately when you look at a resume, resumes will draw you to that job interview. So you definitely want to be critical about certain terminology. What are your career aspirations for biomedical engineering?
When you say career aspirations, what exactly?
Okay, so what are you looking to gain out of like from biomedical engineering? What type of company or ultimately what is your where do you see yourself doing in the next 5 years?
Okay. I see myself working for a medical device company, like Johnson Johnson Stryker. It's not to be those two. And working, it could be like a product manager by then,
Mm-hmm.
and project manager of a team that contributes to the innovation of products that is being used in hospitals and other medical device companies or retail stores where they sell medical devices.
Okay. Now, there was a reason why I asked that. Everything that I do here is very intentional.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why I asked you that question is because commonly those are one of the most common interview questions they're going to ask you in an interview. So you want to be best prepared and built to you want to be best built to answer that question basically. So ultimately you want to make sure that you're on your best foot forward. Okay? Um, but other than that, I would just say just take that off from your resume and everything else should be fine. But do you have any other questions regarding your resume or anything else that you're looking to maybe improve on?
Yes, I do. I know from looking at other people's resume and other resumes online, I saw that some people add like certifications or achievements.
Yes.
So I don't really have major achievements, but I was hoping to use the few I got. For SWE I got like a certificate that said that's not thanking me on my contribution to SWE, even though I was just a member.
Mm-hmm.
Same from working in the career services here. I got like a certificate, like a paper that says, okay, job well done, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it too much to add that to a resume? Just since that's all I have so far.
Honestly, that would be a little bit adding a little bit too much because those are marriages of recognition. It's not
Okay.
necessarily married for your for like work. Like yes, it's something within the organizations you've worked with, but when it comes to certifications, that's something that's work related. So you really want to make sure that you're not adding too much onto the resume. Because I feel like based off what you have here, you definitely have a foundation for you to grow within a company, or ultimately if you decide to establish your own. So I feel like you have the foundational basis to really provide a lot to the company here. One thing I would like to add though is I would recommend maybe adding on here at the very top your LinkedIn profile because ultimately there are companies that are looking into LinkedIn profiles. So that's something you maybe want to consider. Do you currently have a LinkedIn profile?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Has it been updated?
Yeah, I update it every now and then.
Okay. All right. So I would definitely recommend putting that up top here.
So would you say above the phone number or below?
I would say maybe find somewhere maybe I would say underneath the phone number, and I would probably put your email right over here, and then put it right, and then put the LinkedIn
Okay.
profile link
So
underneath.
okay.
Exactly. So, or however way you want to organize, however way you wish to organize it, but you want to make sure that everything tailors to one page. Okay. Um, did you have any other questions about your resume in particular?
No, that was it.
Okay. So I would like to thank you so much for your time. If you have any other questions, you can feel free to contact me in the email provided right up here. Unfortunately, I don't have my business card at the moment, but I'm going to just provide you with my email address if you have any more questions about your resume, okay?
Okay.
Did you have any other questions about any resources that we have here or anything regarding resumes, job interviews, or anything of that nature? Any general questions you may have?
No, really. I always like look up, know when things are going on here, like mock interviews, and I was attended. So not really.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, it's good to know that you're informed. Well, thank you so much for your time, Ogo, and you enjoy the rest of your day, all right?
Thank you.